I got the Eagles winning tomorrow. And I'd like to think it's more than just the fact that the Eagles have swept the Giants the past 2 seasons, and in fact only lost one game the year before that. Last time the Giants beat the Eagles was when Matt Barkley, the third stringer, was in at quarterback. That's the last time the Giants beat the Eagles. It has more to do than that. You know, as bad as people feel about this Eagles team for all the tremendous letdown losses that they've had, I can't lose sight of they've been in every game. They've been in every game. I know any team can say, like, oh, if we did a play or two different here, we would have won the game, but the Eagles have yet to have had that game where it was more than just a play or two going wrong that cost them the game. I mean, they've yet to be beaten by more than a touchdown this year. And this Giants squad just... I know I always say don't sleep on the Giants because then they become the little G-men that could, and before you know it, they got another Super Bowl ring for Eli. Frankly, Eli carried them through the playoffs. I don't mean to sound like, oh, Eli did nothing. Eli played superb postseason football. Anyway. Well, we got rid of... finally disciplined someone, even though you made the coach look like a complete buffoon in doing so. They fired Huff. Basically, after you have your coach come out and say, no, we're gonna play the course and let everything, just take its due time and let the police do their thing. So you have Doug Peterson come out, and then the next day you have Howie Roseman come out and say, no, this is different than the Nigel Bradham thing. He's gone. He's fired. Cut. Anyways, it was a tremendous amount of public pressure that has just been pouring out of the woodwork here in Philadelphia after Doug Peterson on Tuesday came out and said, no, we're cool with him. He's gonna start. And then the very next day you have Howie Roseman say, no, he's fired. Hopefully this sends a message to this team that they're done dicking around with mistake makers. Because right now, Ryan Matthews barely touches the football anymore, and rightfully so, in my opinion, because he's got to be punished. He's got to be punished for fumbling the ball so many times in the fourth quarter. And yet Smallwood fumbling in the fourth quarter last week. So it's just like, okay, well, you can't punish all the running backs. But as for this week, this Giants team just has not overly impressed me this year. Even that win they had against the Cowboys, that whatever you want to call it, win they had against the Saints, where I don't even think the offense even got a touchdown. Just show up and play, Philly. And that's the thing, okay, the NFC East and the Cowboys seem to be running away with it, but it's like all the wildcard teams have 4 wins right now. So it's like the Eagles are right there. They're right there with the ability to get into a playoff spot because, who's it going to be? Arizona, Seattle, Green Bay. All 3 of those teams look considerably weaker than they did last season. And I wouldn't be surprised if all 3 of those teams don't make the playoffs. That's how bad they've been playing so far this year, or bad at times. There's been glimmers of good play out of those teams. Anyways, God, going off subject here. It's going to be a bummer no matter what if the Eagles lose this game, because that's your 3rd NFC East loss matchup in a row, and that's just unacceptable. That's just unacceptable for a new coach and a new quarterback. Well, you can kind of pass off on the new quarterback, especially someone as green as grass as you have in Wentz, but he's looking like the real deal, and you can't lose 3 division games in a row. You can't do that. You just can't do that. But as we know with the Eagles, anything is possible. So, I'm a bit more subdued after the Dallas letdown because, and it's hard to say this without sounding like a bitter bitch, but the Eagles were the better team last Sunday. And that's the thing that agitated me the most. It's like, we handled Ezekiel and we made Dak look like an amateur there, except in those last two touchdown drives that he had. But then again, it ain't so much how you start, it's about how you finish. Isn't that right? So what's to say that the Eagles were the better team when they finished so soft? All these shoulda, coulda, woulda wins. Frankly, there's only one game that they deserve to lose in, which was the Washington Redskins game this year. That's the only game that I feel that the Eagles were flat out the worst team in the game. I want to come out of this game with confidence. Just a confident performance. I want to see people step up. I want to see if this Bryce Treggs is anything, because now he's going to get time on the field at wide receiver, and there's a lot of buzz that Wentz and Treggs before Bradford left got a lot of time working together because Wentz didn't work with the first stringers while Bradford was still here. So hopefully there's some sort of chemistry there. This guy's supposed to be really fast. I saw him doing some one-handed catches in preseason, so I'm like, in a way, I'm going to be a little bit pissed if this guy comes in and has a great game, doesn't have clunker hands, catches the ball, gets some touchdowns, because I'm going to be like, how the hell did this guy not win a roster spot coming into the season? Because right now you got guys like Aguilar and frankly Ertz. I mean, I know Ertz isn't a wide receiver, but they got to start giving Selleck more full-time reps at tight end comparative to Ertz right now. I don't care if you just paid Ertz in the offseason. Selleck's got to get more time because he's proven to have the more solid hands, and he can prove to break a tackle. Ertz, the biggest first contact tackle in the NFL at tight end. Like no exaggeration. This guy, the second there is an ounce of contact on him, this motherfucker goes down. I can't stand that shit. So anyways, I'm looking to see what Bryce Treggs can do. I'm looking to see what this front four, and specifically the front seven, can continue to do, because you got to make a statement in the NFC East. There's been a lot of dicking around. You look like a joke in that Washington game, and you shot yourselves in the foot, and you handed over a win to the Dallas Cowboys. You can't go boom, boom, boom and lose to all three NFC East opponents. You just can't do that. But again, I'm not going to be surprised if it happens. And it's not selling it New York short. New York's got a ton of weapons. They got Cruz back. They got ODB, or I call him ODB because that sounds better than OBJ. OBJ sounds really fruity, and I know. Anyway, just get it done. Just make me not have to cry in the post game video, Eagles. Is that asking too much? That is all.